Hayti Heritage Center in Durham, North Carolina, reached out to us for help in restoring some doors that had seen better days. Years of wear and tear had left them in a state of disrepair, with severe deterioration at the base where the wood had rotted and the structure had weakened. We quickly realized that any attempts to patch and repair the doors would have compromised their strength, and given the extent of the damage, we had no choice but to start fresh by carefully replicating the original doors down to the smallest detail.
The first step was to use a mortiser machine. It creates a nice clean slot where the tenons will eventually go. The strength of joinery has to do with the precision of the fit. Now that the box is cut, the tenon on the cross pieces needs to fit exactly and tightly. Wood glue is strongest when there is friction between the wood pieces being glued together. The cut tenons are now the same width and dimension as the boxes. Next, they are dry fitted to double check the work so far. You can see the 45-degree angle and the rounded slot where the panels will later go. Cleaning up the joints helps ensure there are no high points, resulting in even seams with no gaps. The center panel pieces are thicker in the middle, which helps prevent the wood from splitting. If the entire panel were this thick, it would be too heavy, and the door frame would need to be thicker to accommodate the joinery. The edges are tapered gradually to fit into the door frame's routed slot. The raised middle section of the panel is designed to provide strength and reduce the likelihood of splitting compared to the uniformly thin panel. Wood glue is applied and clamps are used to hold all the joints closed, eliminating gaps. 2 pegs in the edge of each tenon, along with glue, help keep the joints secure and prevent separation. The entire doors are then sanded to ensure all joints match up exactly.
The doors are then treated with copper naphthenate, which absorbs into the wood and acts as a preservative to extend the life of the wood.
In an older building, the door frame is rarely square due to natural settling and shifting over time. When new, perfectly square doors are made, they may not fit into the uneven old door frame. The frame was also deteriorated where the hinges were mounted. Screws were stripped, and the wood was rotting. To address this, we filled the old hinge holes with hardwood and created new holes to provide a fresh surface for the screws, ensuring they wouldn't pull out or cause the door to sag. We also adjusted the hinge cutouts to ensure the doors were perfectly level with even gaps on all sides, allowing them to open and close smoothly without friction. A lot of time was spent on fine-tuning these adjustments to ensure everything worked together seamlessly. The original hardware was then reinstalled. The header above the door was also recreated to match the new doors. Once the installation was complete, everything was painted to protect the doors from the elements and to match the other exterior doors of the building. The golden rule of preservation is to save whatever you can. But what do you do when something is too far gone, especially if it's a functional part of the building, like a door that prevents break-ins? You have to balance historical accuracy with the functionality needed for the building to operate safely. We quickly determined that these doors were too deteriorated, particularly at the bottom where they latch into the floor. Any patchwork would have compromised the door's strength and ability to remain square, making it impractical. Instead, we replicated the doors exactly, matching the original specifications, joinery, and style.